Shalom everyone. This video here, are you drunk off of Babylon? Let me go ahead and answer this question. I don't normally do this, but this is an easy one. This is a no-brainer. If you're in Babylon, 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, you are drunk. Yes, you are drunk off of Babylon if you in her. The last video that I've done, I made mention of something being wrong with our people. What is wrong with our people? Why are we doing some of the things that we're doing? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out exactly how the people fit into the scriptures. And our people are drunk and staggering and drunk and do not know it. This sign says, are you drunk? A person will tell you, no, I'm not drunk. And they're trying to check, no. But this is something, when you're drunk, you don't even know it. And especially if you're drunk off of something like Babylon, being partake of her sin. You don't understand. It's impossible to be in Babylon. And I've made mention of this. It's impossible to be in Babylon and not partake of her sins. And that's why he said, come out of her. Now let's see what this drunk means. This is drunk, of course, we know, affected by alcohol. To the extent of losing control. This is what happens when you in her. You lose control of your faculties or your behavior. You act differently. You can't even walk straight. We have a straight and narrow walk that we should walk. And this straight and narrow walk, a drunk person cannot walk on it. They're staggering. They're going side to side. He said, don't turn to the left or to the right. He said, but you stay in the way. You continue to do what my word has said for you to do. But here we are trying to walk the straight and narrow path, and we are drunk. We say things out of our mouth. We don't know why we're saying it. We don't even understand the fact that we are drunk, but we are seriously drunk. My first scripture here, Isaiah 51:21. This is what the Most High is saying to you. He's saying, therefore, please hear this. Please, listen, he's asking you, please hear this. You afflicted. We cannot, no one denies we are the afflicted ones. And he says, and drunk, but not with wine. We're talking about a different drunkenness here. We're talking about a drunkenness from something, some iniquity, some filth. This is something that we're talking about here, something that he hates. We are partakers of it. Okay, hear what he has to say. Revelations 14:8. And another messenger follows, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all nations drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Listen, if she made all nations, which she has, she made all nations drunk off the wine of her fornication. These nations want to be like her. They want to go into her. This is what they want to be. Everything that she's doing, they want to do it also. And they are drunk. If all nations are drunk, that's thousands of miles away from her. What are you thinking if you're in her and you say you're not drunk? This is impossible. I am a witness. When I came out of her, I was drunk. And it was until I started getting closer and closer to him. There's a process that has to go on. It must take place. And when I got closer and closer, the scripture said we went so far from him, we need to seek him 10 times more. And this is what I vowed to do, and this is what I did. But let me tell you, it took some time for that drunkenness to wear off. It's a different drunk than drinking alcohol and wine. You can sleep that off and be done. But you have to realize we've been in this for years. And a few days, a few months will not do it. You need more than a few days and a few months. And for this reason, this is the reason many people came out of her, came within his borders, did not seek him 10 times more. Did their own thing, thinking they're doing what the Most High say do. And then eventually a year, 2 years later, they go back into her. You see, they never sobered. They never came off of that drunkenness. They were still in a state of drunkenness, and they went back into her. And if you go back into her, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you are drunk to go back into something you came out of. Revelation 17:2, it says, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth was made drunk with the wine of her fornication. This is what we're seeing over and over. The earth, the nations, the kings being drunk off the wine of her fornication. Revelation, and it's saying fornication. When you think of fornication, you going into something else. Okay, yes, this is what it's saying. You going into her. You are becoming intimate with her. You are in bed with her. This is what it means. And that's why he said, come out. If you don't come out, you will receive her plague. And this is what we're about to see. Revelations 18:2-5. And I've brought this out many times. And he cried with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place. Listen, people that say Babylon is spiritual. You see, there is something about this. See, you're drunk if you say Babylon is spiritual, and there is not one scripture that says Babylon is spiritual. There is something we've been discussing this thing spiritual, and it's something that we the Most High open our eyes to. I don't have time to bring it out, but let me tell you, if you think Babylon is spiritual, you are highly intoxicated, you are drunk, and you are out of your mind. It's a dwelling place of demons, a prison. It is a prison of every foul spirit and a cage for every unclean and hated bird, for all nations. Here we go again. All nations drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have become rich. They have become rich through the abundancy of her luxury. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Period. No fussing, no arguing. Come out of her. Come out of this place. Come out of this dwelling place. Not spiritual. Come out of this place. You drunk when you fight against the Most High, when he give you a command, and you said, this is not what he's saying. He's saying, come out of her spiritually. And nowhere in Scripture, let me boldly say this, nowhere in Scripture did the Most High, did it ever come out of his mouth, come out of her spiritually. Now, for everyone that believed this, go on and continue believing this. But don't lead others astray. You take that route, you take that road to Yahuah on your own. Don't take people with you. You're not bringing out the true word of the Most High, and this is disgusting. Sit down with your drunk self and sober up. It says, come out of her, lest you share her sins. You see right here, if you don't come out of her, you will share her sins, and you will receive her plagues. For her sins have reached the heavens, and Yahuah has remembered her iniquities. It's judgment time. Now, let me show you the effects when you're drunk. And this is what's wrong with our people. Our people right now have a slurred speech. They're not talking right. They're talking crazy. They're talking like drunk people. Their drowsiness. They don't even look like they're in the word of the Most High. They're vomiting. I give the word of the Most High, and this is what I do on this channel. I'm pulling out his scriptures. I'm telling you what thus says Yahuah. And they vomit it up out of their mouth and say, that's not what he's saying. Diarrhea, his word go into you. If you listen to this message, it goes into you and it comes straight through you. It goes out and it never affects you because you have a preconceived idea that this Babylon thing is spiritual because of man-made teaching. Upset stomach. You get upset when someone brings truth out, truth of the Most High's word. You get upset and you go against and you come against and you wonder why you get headaches. You wonder why you get body aches and pains, difficulties breathing. You wonder why you're going through physical elements. You have physical elements that you're going through. Here is the reason. Your food is poison. Your water is poison. You know it's poison in the air. Your clothes is poison. The list goes on and on and on, and you wonder why our people are dropping like flies. Distorted vision, you can't even see clear. Distorted hearing, you don't even hear the Most High's word. Impaired judgment, you can't make a good judgment according to, he said, make righteous judgment. And we're making wicked judgments. We're doing wicked things. We're making judgment against your fellow brethren. I mean, this is wickedness. When the brethren just doing anything but bringing forth the truth of the Most High word, and he's not going against anyone else. Decrease perception. Your perception of his words has decreased. You can't even perceive what the word is saying. Your coordination. You can't even walk straight. You can't even think straight. And it's going to lead to your unconsciousness. He said the bodies, their dead bodies, will lay in the street and none will bury them. And then we see anemia. Anemia is, listen, we know the life is in the blood. So you have lost blood, your red blood cells, and this is killing you. And you don't even see it. You're going to end up in a coma. And you wonder why sometimes you have memory lapse. You go in the kitchen and you forgot what you went in the kitchen for. I wonder why you're drunk. And don't tell me this is not happening to you, because when I was in her, I told you I was drunk. My whole entire family experienced this. We will go into the kitchen, we will go into another room, and we completely forget why we went into that room. Now you tell me something that wasn't wrong with us. Now it's not happening anymore. Not here, not where we're at now. Something is wrong. Our people are drunk and don't even know it. This is Isaiah 29, 9 through 13. It says, pause and wonder. Take the time to think and wonder what in the world is going on. This is blind yourselves and be blind. You are drunk, but not with wine. Our people are drunk, not with the wine. This drunkenness the scripture's talking about. It comes from being in her. They stagger, but not with intoxicating drink. They can't stay on the straight and narrow. There's only one path. It's straight and it's narrow. And our people are staggering all over this straight and narrow path. They don't even think of his borders and what's going on in his borders. They don't even care. For Yahuah has poured out on you a spirit of deep sleep. They say we're awake, but they are asleep, and has closed eyes, namely the prophets, and he have covered your heads, namely the seers, those that say they see and understand. They call themselves watchmen. This is a disgust. There's only one watchman in the scriptures and no others. The whole vision has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed. The scriptures have become like a word in a book sealed, and no one understands it. It says, saying, read this. And he says, I cannot read it. It's sealed. And then the book is delivered to one who is illiterate, saying, read this, please. And he says, I'm not literate. Therefore, Yahuah says, inasmuch as these people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but have removed their hearts far from me. Here it is. And their fear toward me is taught by the commandment of men. Come out of her spiritually. That's a commandment of men. I told you we cannot make statements and say, well, I have no commandment from the Father, but this is what I command you. That's a commandment from men. This commandment must come from the Father. And unfortunately, we are taking commandments from men. Here are some of the things that will let you know that you're drunk. When people tell you that, again, our people are teaching this Christianity teaching. This is what I mentioned. Why are they still teaching things from Christianity? It's because they're drunk. We're teaching the same thing over and over. We're teaching about the holidays, the same holidays over and over. It's because we're drunk. And we should have a different message. But yet, here we go teaching the same teaching over and over and over again. We have some of our people raping 13-year-old girls saying, that's my wife. They're drunk and think they're using scripture to make what they're doing right. They are drunk. Let me give one more scripture here. Psalms 107 and 27. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunk man and are at their wits' end. Our people are at their wits' end and they don't know which way to turn. Shalom.